What's up, AfterBuzzers? We're back here for Botched. We have a 6-pack that's kind of whack. We have a breast assassination and the real leeches of Beverly Hills. So much more, and stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Girl, everything paid for. First, last phone bill, car, no cable. With your phone out, gotta hit them angles.
Hey everybody, we're here. We wanted to open up with a little Drake and this song because whenever it's on the radio, I'm boosted with confidence. I'm just dancing, and it felt like a lot of our patients today left feeling very confident.
Yes.
And this was a successful Botched episode, so I cannot wait to break it all down. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. My name is Juliet. I'm here with my lovely panel. Ladies, introduce yourselves, please.
Hey guys, it's your girl Nycole Hutchins, and that's Nycole with the Y.
Ooh.
And I'm Meagan Gitelman. It's good to be here.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome to the panel, a new addition, special guest for this episode. So we're very, very excited to have you. We're going to be talking about just basically the journey each patient goes through, how they got to be botched, and then how they're going to move forward. We have a lot of fun moments. We're also going to be talking about this whole 3D printing that I knew about 3D printing, but a whole body doll situation with Matthew. That was very exciting and very intriguing to me. We're going to talk about Shannon's family knows that she's been trying to get rid of, and also we'll finish the conversation with Jessica's breasts, who were, in the doctor's words, assassinated, which I thought was like, whoa, very harsh, but was a really tough situation she was in. So much to discuss. Let's open up with Matthew, because he was fun. He's a fun character. I had a good time with Matthew. What about you, ladies?
He's a very colorful character. Like, there was not a dull moment with him. So while he was interesting to watch, I was trying to understand him a little bit better. So people who are that animated, it's just, I don't know. It's kind of hard to get used to, but still entertaining.
Yeah, I like that he already came in so confident, and you could tell that he was confident that this was going to turn out well for him. He wasn't really trying to hide anything. He was like, this is wrong. I'm going to get it fixed, and it's going to be good, and I don't need anyone else to tell me about it.
Right, just definitely someone who marches to the beat of his own drums. I really also enjoyed seeing the dynamic between him and his sister. She was really there for him, which I really enjoyed, because unfortunately when certain people decide to make certain life choices to be very loud, which he is, and just very colorful. Some family members who are more conservative can just shy away and just question what he's doing. But he had a very supportive sister, and I really enjoyed seeing that dynamic. Were you surprised by that dynamic?
I was, actually, to see how supportive his sister was, and like you said before, in more, I guess, when people are in more, I don't know if you would describe it as conservative situations or who come from conservative backgrounds, they're not as supportive, for whatever reason, but it was really like heartfelt to see that and the whole closeness that they have together. So yeah, I was very surprised, actually.
Yeah, would you, Megan, step into that corset the way they were pulling it?
I know, that's just what I was thinking about. That moment was so sweet and just pure to me, of her helping him get dressed and everything, and she just wants him to look his best and feel his best, which I think is the best thing you can do as a family member.
Yeah, it really is. And she's been, as she was saying, was by his side since day one. He started getting injections at age 18. 18 is pretty young to be getting stuff done. We've talked about this throughout the season. Yeah, because mainly you're still figuring out who you are, and your face is also going to change. At 18, you're not fully grown. Your face continues to evolve, so you got to be very careful. And we disclose this to our audience because we just want to make sure people do their research and figure that out, because as we'll discuss a little bit later in the episode, we have certain patients like Jessica or Shannon who didn't do as much research maybe as they should have, and that's why they're in this predicament. So before Matthew goes to see the doctors, he walks into this company called, I don't know if I mispronounced it,
Doob. I think it was like Doob or something.
Doob, yeah, D-O-O-B. It was a 3D printing company.
Right.
And he steps in fully dressed with like corset dress of some sort. Give me Versace vibes.
I love the outfit. I loved it. It was like really fitting, I guess, complimenting his figure, I should say.
Yeah.
And it was really cool how the final result turned out, with the doll. That was cool. I've never seen anything like that. So
me neither.
Yeah.
I thought that was really, really neat. He just walks in and then poof, strike a pose and comes out with a full on doll. Megan, were you surprised that he then brings the doll to the doctors?
I thought that was hilarious, but coming from him, just what we learned from him over the course of the episode, it's not really a surprising mood. He's pretty confident about himself.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny because it's like, you guys are going to operate on me. Here's a small version of myself. You can
For some motivation.
Some motivation. A little Barbie doll. So he has had silicones again, like he's had injections in his face for a number of years and has silicone abs.
Yeah, he had silicone like literally injected into his abs to create and form abs, which I've never heard anything like that. I didn't know that doctors actually did that, but perhaps he went to like a black market doctor, because I know they'll kind of do anything. And he did mention the person that he went to was a lot cheaper than an on-market doctor, which again, you guys do your research.
And you can't cheap out when you're for surgery of any kind, plastic surgery, even when you're trying to aesthetically change something. Just be very, very careful.
For sure.
And with that, I mean, it was semi-successful, but one of the abs is just not really where it's supposed to be. It's not very symmetrical.
Yeah, it was like sagging, like each, I don't know, ab thing was sagging a little bit. I don't know. That's what it looked like to me. So
right. However, through that conversation, that they decided not to operate. Were you surprised by this diagnosis?
I'm not really surprised.
Why is that?
I guess just more so, well, like the doctor said, he's low risk. He was just like low risk. So again, Matthew mentioned that he couldn't go through with the surgery because of his work schedule. Like his schedule is packed for a whole year because of the nature of his job, but he can return. So I can't wait to actually see that episode when Matthew actually returns and he gets his perfect abs, which I don't know if perfection can be obtained at this point, but yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I think that sweet. I would love to see him come back. I always say this every week. I'm like, there's always, out of the 3 or the 4, there's always going to be one person that they don't operate with and operate on, and usually is a very flamboyant character who's loud and who is really all about the extreme, as we've seen in the past. But this was a case kind of outside the box because the doctors were willing to operate, and it was just a conflicting issue.
Yeah, it's all conflicting schedules.
But then again, I pose the question, you didn't think this would be an issue before going on TV, or you were just happy to be on TV? Like, how what are we thinking? Do you think
He did kind of talk about how he's already almost a public figure and famous, and he was like, I don't want to brag about it, but he kind of wanted to brag about it, and this is definitely a lot more exposure for him.
For sure. And then he said something to the effect like, well, I'm not famous, but I kind of am in my own right. Like, I feel like he was trying to, like, fake humble himself. Come on now. I could, exactly, humble brag. Like, we could see right through that.
Yeah, we could. But you know what? At least he sees the opportunity and he went all out. And I really enjoyed that. I respect that. And I thought he was an entertaining part of the episode. So I'm very happy. Let's move on to our other patient, Shannon, who has a family nose that she's been trying to get rid of. And if we learn one thing with her is that just because you have a good breast doctor does not mean he's going to be a good nose doctor.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I have to get this out there. I just assumed that it was common sense that you don't go to a breast doctor for your face. I get it. He did a phenomenal job on her first surgery when she got the breast augmentation, but that doesn't guarantee that when it comes to your facial structure that you're going to end up with the same results. I don't know. If it were me, I would have gone to a doctor who specializes, with facial reconstructing or rhinoplasty. So
but I have to play devil's advocate, as someone who knows, if you're someone who doesn't know anything about this world and you're like, oh, he did a good job at this, I trust him. You have some trust in him because he gave you the breast you wanted. However, again, like you're saying, and like we've learned in this episode, not a good match. You gotta do your research. You gotta go to the expert for each little thing you're trying to tweak.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Maybe ask that doctor for a reference to a nose person.
Exactly.
Right,
Very smart. There you go. You know that you trust him for his breast, so maybe you trust him for his contacts. Just that's the way to do it. Shannon had a pretty hard breaking story. Her nose was really, really long and fell, her words, almost to her lip. And then she had a heartbreaking moment where she did that face swap thing.
Oh my gosh.
Which is like an app where you can like take your face and put it on someone else. And she did that with her daughter. And her daughter was like, ew, no, change it back. The thing is, not only is children are always really honest. They just
Right.
say what's on their
Yeah.
mind. And so I
Yeah.
think that's really why that hurt her so much.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't have children, so I wouldn't know what that dynamic is like, but I can only imagine you're already feeling insecure about the nose that you have, and then your daughter to kind of like, I guess, amplify those insecurities, not intentionally. Like, I don't think she was literally trying to hurt her mother. It was just kind of that moment. Like, you know how kids are, like you said, they tell the brutal, honest truth. And Shannon began to cry as she was describing this, and I don't blame her. Like, that's I mean, yeah, it was pretty sad.
Yeah, it was really sad. But you know what? She despite that, goes in, knows what she has to do. She wants to talk to the doctors. They give her hope. They say that she's a high risk. She is at a high risk, but they're still going to take on this challenge. That's what I love about my Botched doctors.
Yes.
So they make me happy. And you know what? As we're talking about the difference between having your breast guy and your face guy, here's an example on the show. We have two different doctors who have both different specialities, right? Have you ever seen them do their right? Dr. Nassif focuses mainly on nose,
Right.
and Dr. Dubrow focuses on breast. We've never seen them
Breasts and
change
other
that
stuff.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen, honestly, since I've watched the show, I've never seen them like switch off like, hey, you know, Dr. Nassif, you do the breast, and Dr. Dubrow, you do the nose. Like,
Because
there's
it
a
doesn't
reason
work
for
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as simple as that. So I thought that, good thing to point out that there's a reason why medicine is so broad, plastic surgery is so broad. There's a reason why you got to have a specialty, because if not, you'd be in school for forever,
Yeah.
And so you got to keep it moving, which she did. So she went to surgery, overall successful. And then she wakes up with so many bandages. She was like, I'm highly medicated. It was rough.
She looked hideous.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm just being honest. I was like, whoa, I don't ever remember seeing bruises like that.
I know,
after
she could barely
rhinoplasty.
open her eyes.
Yes,
to
it was
look
crazy.
at
I was
them.
like, ooh, girl.
So many
Yeah.
bandages. Those producers grabbed her right off right off. Like, we gotta stick to schedule.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. We're sticking to
Right.
schedule. Sit down. It's good TV.
Yeah, I wonder at a moment like that, maybe with the medicine you're not, but you just don't want to be on camera at that point. You just want to skip to the finished product.
Right, exactly.
Probably. And so this is something I had not seen before on Botched. So guys, if we've seen this and I'm missing an episode, because there's been quite a few now, we're so many seasons in, please hit us up and leave us a comment on iTunes. Also go to YouTube and subscribe to this channel. We're the reality channel. Lots of fun shows on this portal. We have Jersey Shore. We have also some competition shows such as Master Chef, and lots of fun shows like that. And if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, it helps you kind of find different shows within the reality portal. So if you like this content, you're more than likely gonna like all the other content we have to offer. And there's lots of fun activities to fall into the whole trap when it comes to AfterBuzz. And don't worry about the notifications. You can turn that off if you want. You're too worried about notifications. But we really suggest you do, because it's going to be very beneficial to you and to us too at AfterBuzz. We provide all this content for free, and all those subscriptions, those likes, those comments, whether that be iTunes or YouTube, really, really help us and help us make this content even better and bring it to you every week. So come on, help us out. And also, obviously, keep the conversation going. We're having a really short show today, but we'll be back next week. And in between the week, we're all about Botched, and we're hitting each other up, and we're like, oh, this is going on in the plastic world surgery. We want to be sharing this with you because we're all a family.
Yes.
Her family, Shannon's family, seemed very happy with the results.
Yes. Yes.
So overall, that ended well, but what I really, really want to talk about are the real leeches of Beverly Hills.
Oh my gosh.
I don't
That
think
was crazy.
I know. So they pull out these leeches because she's so bruised to suck up all the blood. I heard that that's something that people do. Apparently, there's a rumor that Angelina Jolie's been doing this for years, just as like a beauty regimen. It's like the stars of stars.
Like the leech facial, I think it is. Yeah, I've heard of something like that.
do.
It must work because her skin is beautiful.
Yeah, it seemed to work, and she was just sitting there with leeches just sucking on her face. Did we like that moment of the show?
It was kind of gross to watch, to be honest with you, but interesting at the same time. So it was interesting to see that. Yeah.
No, like I've heard beauty is pain, but I didn't know it was that disgusting sometimes to get to the final product. It kind of reminded me when you go to those spas where you put your feet in the water with a little fish.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Except on your face.
Right.
Exactly. I mean, that was a lot to see. And it's kind of, she was so medicated, she didn't seem grossed out. She was just like, sitting there with all her stuff. And
Yeah.
She said it stung a little bit. She was like, it's kind of stinging, but I doubt she could really feel. But yeah, that's so crazy.
What really got me is they left her there alone. I would not want to be in the room alone with that.
Yeah. I'm sure she had like her family member and like that nurse who came in with the actual stuff. We're sitting there, but they're like, we're not going to watch you because this is kind of gross and we have a better use of our time. And it's kind of fun to see how like, yes, medicine has gone so far, but we go to these practices of just grabbing leeches and just nature helps us in a way. I thought that was cool. Yeah. That's kind of all I have to say about Shannon. I liked her reveal. She seemed so confident when she met her family. Again, that's why I pulled out that nice Drake song. Because I was like, that wasn't the theme song, but it should have been her theme song when she was strutting away because she was not happy. Let's finish up the episode just to talk about Jessica real quick because she was so sweet. My heart went out to her.
Did you too?
Did you relate to her?
I did. Just because with her condition, anything that has to do with like losing the breast or missing the breast, I have a family member who was diagnosed with breast cancer. So that really it really pulls a string at my heart, and I felt so bad for her. She went through so much. You know what I mean? And I mean, resulting from the surgery, just quickly here, she had lost her job, she lost her home, and then she loses her womanly parts. It's just, she went through a lot. So I'm just happy that the doctors were actually able to help her.
Yeah, and they were talking about that in the consultation, is that she lost all her womanhood, her lady parts, and people will be, some people will criticize and say, oh, the looks aren't everything, but they're part of who you are, and it's her body, and it's really heartbreaking. My heart really went out to her.
Yeah.
Felt really bad, but she
got good results.
She got good results, which is great. But I do again have to go back on you have to do your research. You have to know what's going on and you have to listen to your gut. This is what really stuck with me. She was saying I went in and after the first surgery, I just felt like something wasn't right. My nipple felt weird, it's changing colors, and she was like, I have an infection. I can feel it. I can smell it. If you can smell it,
yes. Come on now.
You gotta go see someone. And she, despite all that, was like, okay, let's go see the same doctor. Let's reopen. Let's figure out what's going on. And she said it. She had an instinct. So ladies and men, whoever's listening, stick to your guns.
Yes. Yeah. Follow that instinct, guys.
And if you smell a nipple, it ain't right. It ain't right. For sure. She then went to finally go see her primary care doctor, and he was like, yo, this is not okay. You need to get those babies out of there. You have, what was the disease called?
Mrsa.
You have Mrsa, which is basically kind of like a
flesh-eating disease. I've never heard of it before. So basically what it did to Jessica is it first ate at the tissue, and then the nerve, it caused nerve damage and basically just deteriorated the whole nipple and areola. I've never seen anything like that in my life. It just, honestly, it freaked me out. It was so hard to look at that, and I can only imagine her having to wake up and look at that every day until she went back to go get it fixed. Oh my gosh, Jessica, seriously, honestly, you're my hero. You're a true survivor.
She really is. And I enjoyed how the doctors met with her in the consultation and were saying, listen, this is a high risk situation. This is really high risk, but I'm going to take the challenge. So thank you, Botched doctors, for always taking on those challenges that others can't. And he was saying, but you know what, there might be complications, but I promise you, regardless of those complications, I'm going to stick by your side. That's all you need.
Yes.
Even in life, right? Things are bound to happen. Have someone stick by your side.
Yes. That's why they are my favorite doctors right now. They, like you said, they take on a challenge. They really want to help people. And that's what I like about them. It's very genuine. So, yes.
Yeah. What really got me is it started all as a self-care journey. It was never about vanity or just doing something for the heck of it. She just wanted to lose the weight and feel better about herself and take better care of her body. So it was so good at the end to finally see someone wanting to take care of her and be by her side through that.
Yeah. She was really sweet. That was a very uplifting story for me. That's why I wanted to end on her. But sadly, we're running out of time. Do you guys have any final thoughts or anything you want to throw out there before we shout out our friends?
I just enjoyed this episode, and I think Jessica was a highlight for me. Yeah, Jessica was a highlight for me.
Oh, good. Well, out of the three, Megan, who's your favorite?
I really like Jessica too.
Yeah.
She really got to me.
Jessica was sweet. She was really and Shannon's a close second for me too. I thought she was a sweet.
Yeah.
Because she just as a cosmetology school.
Yeah,
I always enjoy someone who,
cosmetology.
she was a paralegal. Now she's turning her life around at a certain age. A mom and like isn't afraid of a challenge too, and that's something
Yeah.
we enjoy here. So please, again, keep the conversation going with us on iTunes or YouTube. We follow both of those places, and we just want to talk to you guys. And while you're there, please leave us a thumbs up, a star, compliments. While you're at it, I could use one. But until next week, we will definitely miss you. You can follow me on Instagram in the meantime at Bonjour Juliet, which is hello in French, and then my name. So Bonjour Juliet. How about you, ladies?
And you can follow me on Instagram at @TheRealNycole, and that's Nycole with a Y.
And you can follow me at MeaganLynn97, Meagan with an A.
Awesome. Thank you again so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Bye. Botch you later.
Catch you later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Botch you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you so much for being so accommodating today.
No.